Hello, this is Thomas K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. Today I'm at Lake James State Park. It's not actually where I planned to be today. I thought I'd be going by Tuttle Educational State Forest and doing a long hike and then an activation. And they were supposed to be open today, but for some reason the gates were closed. I don't know, maybe because the temperature was a little cold or something. They didn't expect people to show up, but anyway, that can happen from time to time, even during, proper operational hours. Parks may be closed for one reason or another. So my backup here was Lake James, which is a wonderful park. And I actually went on a nice little loop hike here just a moment ago, and then had a quick lunch, and now I'm going to do a quick activation. Today I brought along my Xiegu or Xiegu G106 HF transceiver. This is currently on loan to me from Radioddity, and I've had it now, gosh, nearly 2 months. I'm grateful to Radioddity not knocking down my door right now to get it, because I've been trying to give this radio a very, very fair shake out. You know, it's a very affordable QRP radio. It's around $300, give or take $20, depending on the month and if there are sales and things like that. Very affordable, full HF multi-mode radio, and not a perfect radio, but again, it's $300. So I took it out yesterday, had a really good time with it at Fort Dobbs, and used a little BCI filter that I built. In fact, I'll show you that here in a second, because I'll probably implement my BCI filter even if I'm not hearing broadcast band bleed through right now, because I think it's just a good practice to do that. And I think today I'm going to start on the 10-meter band, and then go down to the 20-meter band. I know the 20-meter band should be pretty active, but I thought I'd start on 10 meters. If I could actually just activate this park with 10 meters, I'd do it. I don't know quite if there's that much activity on 10 meters today or not. 10 meters has been hopping from time to time lately, which is wonderful. So we'll just see. Maybe it will. And the antenna I've deployed, because I don't have an antenna tuner, so the antenna I deployed, it can be resonant on 10 meters, is the Chelegance MC-750. And so I've got it deployed. It's really short, really short, because 10 meters doesn't make for a really, big vertical. And you can see here 28 megahertz on the silk screening, and that's where I have it set. So when I checked at home, it was spot on when I did the SWR. Now, one of the negatives with the Xiegu G106 is it doesn't have an SWR meter on it, but I'm feeling really confident that this is going to be just fine, and should work out really well. It's a little chilly today. I think I may actually put on my gloves. Okay, let's get this all set up. Need to plug in my camera to a battery, external battery. There we go. Thanks for joining me today, by the way. I appreciate this. Always nice to have someone come along for the ride. Now, something I'd like to do up front. If you saw my last video, and I'm pretty sure that I would have posted this video before this one, when I was at Fort Dobbs, I was operating, I don't know, maybe I operated 45 minutes or so, and then the transceiver just died. And that's because the voltage dropped low enough on the Bioenno 3 amp hour battery that the BMS has turned off the battery completely. And that's the reason why the radio died. I think the radio would have gone maybe slightly lower in voltage than this battery would have. But that was fine. This radio is a little more hungry for current than most of my other QRP radios. But it's pretty respectable at about 320 to 330 milliamps in receive. It's really not that bad. But I'm just used to really efficient radios, so I can do like 5 activations on one of these with some of those. So you just have to keep in mind with some of these Xiegu products that, they are a little more power hungry when they're operating. So you may not be able to get away with like 3.5 amp or 3 amp hour. You may want to get 4.5 or 6 amp hour batteries if you want longer sessions. Now this battery probably wasn't completely topped off. I probably used it, I think I used it one time for a short activation with my KX2. And again, I could have done 4 more activations with it with my KX2, I think. So anyway, I charged it last night. And yesterday, if you saw my video from Fort Dobbs, I pulled out this little simple battery checker, I guess you'd call it. You can see it's in a little 3D printed case, and really small. And this was made by November 1 Juliet Echo Oscar N1JEO. Now, I don't know if he's actually making these like in production or if it's just a little thing he put together himself. But by the time I've got this video out, I'll know. And what you can do is look in the description below in the video, and there's going to be a link to a post on QRP.com. If this is actually for sale, and if it's a product that you know, you can purchase or build or something, then I'll have a link to it. If not, then I'll just describe what it is. And it does happen sometimes that people just send me things because they want to, and it's really kind of them. This is a really cool analyzer, though. Basically, when you plug it in, it just gives you a quick read on a battery. And basically, it has 4 LEDs. And if your voltage is above 13.5 volts, these 2 red LEDs will blink alternately. And that's because they want to warn you that some QRP radios cannot handle over 13.5 volts DC. And then if the voltage is between 13.5 and 11.4 volts, a green LED will blink every 5 to 6 seconds, and it just goes blink, and that's it, and you'll just see it. If the battery voltage is between 11.4 and 10.4 volts, a yellow LED will blink every couple of seconds. And then if it's less than 10.4 volts, a red LED will blink rapidly. And that's really your quick read. This isn't made for 9-volt batteries, obviously. It's made for, our lithium iron phosphate batteries, some of our other lithium batteries to give a quick read on it. So what we're going to do right now is plug it in, and I know what to expect. So it does a little quick run, and it's doing alternate blinking, which doesn't surprise me because this is over 13.5 volts. I just pulled this off the charger. By the time I finish this, it'll probably blink green. It'll probably be around 13.3 volts or 4 volts or something. So anyway, neat little product. Again, that's with November 1 Juliet Echo Oscar N1JEO. Put this away now. We know we got a good battery. I'm probably good for a couple of hours operating now with the G106 if I want to. Let's see, first of all, if there's any... Well, let me put on my gloves. This is actually going to be a gloved activation. It's not super cold today. It's maybe 43 or something. Whoops. 43 or something. But it is windy. And I find that with my hands when I'm doing CW, if it gets gusty, it can just kind of make my CW sloppier than it normally is. By the way, don't worry about sloppy sending. Seriously, people get way too concerned about that. I'll let you in a little secret. Pretty much every amateur radio operator I know that I've operated CW with has sent sloppy code from time to time. It just happens. Just happens, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about how your code sounds. Just move on and enjoy what I like to call the sacred language of CW. I think it's a really fun language. Okay, let's get this ready. Set up my... let me take off my finger and thumb here. Let's see. What is the part number? It's 2739. Okay. 2739. And today is the 18th of March, 2023. And we're going to start on the 10 meter band CW, and then I'll put G106 MC-750 here. That's just to remind me what I was using that day. And we are at 1600 hours right now. I have no clue if 10 meters is going to be active today or not. I looked at the spots to kind of get an idea, and there were 2 people on 10 meters when I checked, and I'd say that the RBN reports weren't stellar, but they weren't bad either. Okay, let's see if we hear any broadcast band noise at first. Okay, hearing nothing there. This is good so far. Seems really quiet, actually. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the broadcast band filter on, because if there's something overloading the receiver anyway and I can't hear it, I just think it can't hurt to do this. This is the little filter that I built. I'll have information about this filter in the QRP post as well. Very, very easy build. Very easy build to do. I'll be honest, the radio seems really quiet. Really, really quiet today. You know, it's so quiet. I'll double check my connections. I see stuff on the band scope, so I know that, you know, it's probably connected, but this is just me wanting to be a little extra cautious. Just want to make sure it's hooked up really nicely here. Yeah, it is. Just make sure this is on tight. It is. Everything's in here. Everything's on really nice and tight. It's set up the right way. The antenna's deployed right, so I think we're fine. I shouldn't complain about a low noise floor at a park. Okay, here we go. I'm hearing some signals here. This is good. Okay. Let me get my phone out so I can check the spots to see, first of all, if it spotted me, and secondly, if what my RBN numbers may look like. So what I'm going to do is pull up the POTA site here. Let's go ahead and start calling CQ. I've got the preamp on. It makes a pop when it engages or disengages. I'm seeing stuff on here, so all we're doing right now is just getting the attention of the reverse beacon network. Ooh, plug the camera back in here before I forget. There we go. This is giving the RBN time to hopefully pick me up. This will be quieter than 20 meters. This is weird. This is with the volume all the way up. Yeah, I'm getting spotted with 6 dB. Set up my camera just a little bit better here, so it's got a little bit more spacing. There we go. I want to knock it over while I'm operating here. Gosh, I can't hear them. Oh no, somebody is doing a contest right there. I'm going to move a little bit. I didn't realize there was a contest going on this weekend even. A CW contest at least, but I was hearing test, and so someone started calling CQ on top of me because they couldn't hear me. So it'll take it a second to respot me. There's all kinds of room. There's all kinds of room on the 10-meter band. But France, this is my first contact. That's really nice. Let's see if it's respotted me now. It hasn't respotted me yet. Let me move a little further up the band here. This is really weird though. I feel like this, it's like the preamp's not on or something. Let me move up here. Do I hear anybody? You can see the FT8 stations, lots of CW stations. Yeah, it respotted me now. Interesting, the reverse beacon network node that spotted me is in Spain. This is the great thing about 10 meters. I just wish this would go higher. I feel like the volume should go higher. We'll do this maybe another 5 minutes or so. latest spot I got was from 7 land. So this is throwing pretty long. This is the great thing about the skip with 10 meters. Well, I heard somebody giving a report. I suspect what's happening is I'm getting drowned out by whatever contest this is. Okay, let's move down to the 20 meter band. That was fine. I've got to say it was very fine. But I'm hoping when we extend this antenna, and I want you to stay here and listen and see if the gain comes up like a bunch when I extend the antenna for 20 meters. Let's see if you can actually see me do this over here in the background. Maybe you can. Here we go. Let us see. That was awfully fun on 10 meters, I gotta say though. That long throw, that was awesome. Aha, yeah, there is a big contest going on. Well, you could hear the difference, couldn't you? You know what? I'm gonna go to the 17 meter band. Sorry, I hate to shake this up. As long as it's got, I think it has a marking for 17 meters. I wanna go here to escape the contest. So, let me go shift that one more time. We're allowed to change our minds, aren't we? Here we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me see if there's any broadcast band in. No, I won't worry about it right now. We'll try it afterwards, maybe, if I can remember. Here we go. Let's see. Can we get some more people here? Let me change this to 17 meters in my logs so I don't get messed up there. I feel like I could have been missing stations just because the receiver sounds a little deaf there. It does here too for some reason. It just seems like it should be louder. I don't know. Volume's up all the way. Oh well. I did get spotted. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Iowa, da-da-da-da. Right, Rhode Island. There we go. See what my signal reports now from Mike. .559, a little bit stronger. Okay, I got a 9 and an I. Oh. Good to get your logs. Idaho. Oh, there we go. Ooh, there's somebody down there. That's nice, a park to park. In Massachusetts. We'll keep calling a little bit. I gotta say, I'm all... Good to get you in the lugs again. Maybe one more to have 15. What do you say? So you can hear it. Utah. Da 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 da. Got an extra dit in there. You know, I got my 15. I'm gonna do one more CQ. Okay, now since I have internet here, I'm going to respot myself QRT. So I'll put QRT and leave it at that. Now people know I'm QRT. I sent yours. There we go. Turn this off now. That was great. Actually, it was a lot of fun. This is the cool thing. So if you look, I don't know if you can even see this right now. Well, let's just look at this paper log here. You can see a little bit better. It was really fun. 10 meters, went straight from France all the way. So I went across the Atlantic to my east to France and then straight back over to Washington State, which is about as far away as I can shoot a signal in the United States. Worked Mike there, and then went to 17 meters, and 17 meters was doing really, really well. And 20 meters would have been hopping even more. I think that I would have had pileups in 20 meters. Yesterday, I had a pretty nice pileup going on 20 meters. But I really would have liked to I would have liked to spend even a little bit more time on 10 meters. I felt like the radio is just, there's something about this G106 I'm trying to sort out right now. But I feel like the sensitivity on certain bands really is just not quite there. Strong signals pop through really nicely. And I used to think at first it just had a really nice low noise floor, but I actually feel like it's just not super sensitive on some bands. And I felt like I may have been missing some things on 10 meters. I'm not sure. I don't really know. But I need to test this, put it on a service monitor or something, and kind of test the sensitivity and see how it's doing. I do think that the broadcast, the BCI filter, I think this is a really, really good addition. This is by, if I get his call sign wrong here, I'll correct it in the video, or at least in my QRP post. But I think it's N9DP. And this is a really cool little kit. I think I mentioned in the last video that this kit took me all of, I don't know, 30 minutes to build. Didn't take long at all. You wind 2 toroids, 28 turns. There are 3 capacitors you put on and 2 BNC connectors. And then you cover it with this heat shrink. And this goes really nicely in a backpack or something. But it makes a really huge difference when you're operating and you are in the presence of a broadcaster. This little filter can really mean a lot. It'll kind of keep the radio from overloading and that sort of thing. It's not a bad thing to have, just in case, for example, you set up at a park and there's a AM broadcaster, you know, half a mile away or something that you didn't know about. Because sometimes if you're really close to a really strong broadcaster, no matter what kind of radio you have, you're going to end up having some kind of broadcast band bleed through if it's a really powerful station. Most of the radios out there will, you know, they all have BCI filtering in them and stuff like that. The G106 does not, neither does the X6100 by Xiegu. Neither one of those do. So if you have one of these, I would recommend getting one. If you are in a club, I would recommend buying these for club build. It'd be very easy to do in an hour with a few soldering irons, even with people who are novices at soldering. I bought this, and I think I said it was $20 shipped. It was great. And N9DP, I really hope I got your call sign correct there, is a reader of our blog too, and I found that out later on. A few other people had recommended his stuff, so really nice little build. Okay, I'm going to pack up. Very pleased with the Chelegance MC-750, because I don't have an antenna tuner with me today. And frankly, if I would have been stuck on, say, 20 meters, I would have been, you know, roughing it in this contest that I wasn't even aware was happening this weekend. I don't keep up with the contest calendar, if I'm being honest. I'll know some of the big ones, but I just don't keep up with the contest calendar very well. Because I'm a field radio guy. I just don't think about them. I think about some of the QRP contests. I do think about some of those, but I don't really know all the big contests that well. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. You just don't know how much I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with me today on this short little activation. And hope you get a chance to go out and play radio in the field. I always like to say, and I forget so often, I always say that I forget to write about and mention some of the most important things to me, but I'd like to really thank those of you who support me on Patreon and on via the Coffee Fund. It really means a lot to me. It opens up my time so that I can write up these field reports and put together these videos And I think I told you in the past that I use all the funds to pay for the websites, to pay for all the other services. I have my internet service I use to upload my videos, because I live in a really rural area. That's actually a pretty pricey thing to do, because our internet at home, our DSL service gives us 3 megabits down and 0.3 up. So I use a hotspot, a 4G hotspot, to do a lot of my work, and you have to pay for that by the gigabyte, basically. This opens it up for that. And your funds also, anything that's in excess of the equipment I buy to review and all of those things, and some of my travel expenses, they go into our family fund, our travel fund. And it means a lot to me, because it means that my wife and daughters know that, when I'm going out and doing these things, and because this is really a labor of love more than anything else. I would never do this as a business, but it's a labor of love, that it gives something back to our family, so that we can go on nice trips and have little adventures, and go see places. We love traveling, so it opens the door for that, to have a little extra fun money when we're traveling. And so, yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With all that said, if you're in a position where you can't contribute, don't worry about it. I'll survive. It's not a problem. I'd rather you put your money into your own, your own funds. Just keep them in your own funds, especially if you're trying to save up for your first radio, or your, if you're on a fixed income and you really can't afford that. Don't ever feel like you have to do that. This is just something I appreciate. People sort of giving back what they think, this is worth to them. It means a lot to me. There is no bigger honor, honestly, than someone supporting you financially for what you're doing directly, like this happens. It is really, it's really just kind of humbling, frankly. And so I really appreciate it. Anyway, I better stop rambling and get everything packed up and head back to my house. Got some stuff to do with my wife and daughters today yet, and I know Hazel will miss me, so I need to get back over there, check in with them, and go on with the rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and take care of one another out there. Until next time, 7 3s.